Hello and welcome back to game number 5 of day number 9 of season 8 of StarLadder Star Series. We are here with Power Rangers and QPAD, both teams which have already faced each other once today, or not once, not each other, but they both faced Virtus Pro today, which they both lost to. And we're gonna see which one of the teams will still be getting some points today, as Power Rangers will be on the Dire side, QPAD on the Radiant side, and with me are two people. One is the person that you will not hear, but you'll see what he does. It is Nahaz, our statsman, and the person that you will hear is my co-caster, Mod. Welcome back.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me once again. It's Power Rangers versus QPAD, and we talked a little bit before the game about Power Rangers and how they've been playing recently. They've been playing very strong. It's a very good team. QPAD, they've had a bit of a rough time earlier on. Of course, that was, I think it was Virtus Pro versus QPAD like you were talking about. QPAD had a really rough game. I believe they only got a couple kills in that one. And really, we'll see what teams want to do in terms of the draft so far. With the last game we just saw, of course, we saw 4FC have a really rough time against Rox's Kiss, with Rox's Kiss picking a very strong pushing lineup with Pugna as well as the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet is not available. They banned him out, and I'm not sure if they'll ban out the Pugna as well, just to make sure they get rid of that, pushing strategy. But Power Rangers, they've got a couple of options here as to what they want to pick with their first pick, so we'll see what they want to do.
Yeah, I was slightly distracted. Apparently I didn't really do the scores just yet, so I can't really show you just yet what these two teams have. Actually, I can, because they didn't play in the previous game. Let's just take a look at what their scores are right now, because Power Rangers is actually doing quite okay in terms of ranking. Now, did I actually discuss with you on Friday that there's a max of 4 games that you can lose if you still want to make it to the playoffs?
I don't think we talked about that, but that's interesting to note.
That's an estimation. Because based on last seasons. Of course, everybody plays 17 games instead of 15 games compared to last season. But approximately 4 losses are the most that you can have if you still want to make it into the top 4. Which right now, Power Rangers is sitting on 4 and 4. So they have already got 4 losses. Can't really afford more. QPAD, on the other hand, only had their first game today, which they lost. So they still have a lot of options to get themselves back on track and get themselves some wins in. And to not be in the bottom 4, because that's not where you want to be, because then you get dropped down to the Pro Series. But yeah, for Power Rangers, I feel like it's quite an important match, because you just don't want to be already losing your hope in terms of making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, too, you think about QPAD. If they go 0-2 to start, that's very devastating, I think, for a team's morale. That's not good. You want to get off to a good start, and 0-2 is pretty much the opposite of that. Power Rangers, though, they've got a good start here with Alchemist with Visage. One of those heroes will go for a medallion. I'm not sure which. The minus armor will be there. The damage will be done as well. But Marana Bane, it's a combo we see a lot from teams, and for good reason. Nightmare is really good to set up those arrows, and you can hit long-range ones as long as there's no way that another person can take the Nightmare away, which is kind of the important thing to note. So, QPAD, good start. Power Rangers, we'll see how they want to play the Alchemist, whether it's going to be support, mid, like we talked about earlier, or even a farming Alch, which we don't see a whole lot of. Still, good drafts for both teams so far.
Yeah, I like it. A lot of options still open in terms of going aggressive, not going aggressive. I especially like that Alchemist. I really hope it's going to be a support, because I'm just enjoying Alchemist support a lot lately. Marana Bane. Dual lanes coming out maybe from QPAD. It's all still possible. I have to say, I mean, the heroes that's still in the pool, that's actually surprising me to be still in the pool, is something like Elder Titan, OD, Lich. Where are they?
That's a very good question. We might see a ban coming out from QPAD, but I expect to see at least one of those heroes get picked up. If it doesn't, I think Elder Titan's the most likely one. And it probably goes for, like, the QPAD team because of how strong it would work with the Marana and the Bane, because minus armor very early on gives Marana a little bit more, she can actually fight, whereas instead of having to get farm, because Marana doesn't really do that much base damage, so Natural Order is very good in that scenario, plus it gives them AoE potential on top of what Marana already has. They're going to go for the Venomancer instead, and sometimes I'll probably get yelled at or whatever, but I think that early on in the game, Venomancer's not that good of a support hero. He becomes very good later on, and I feel like he's overrated sometimes, and when he's picked up, I feel like there are better heroes. But Venomancer's still very strong, so not a bad pickup for them to be sure, and we'll see what they want to do on Power Rangers side here. Do they go for the Elder Titan like you talked about, or even for the Lich? Lich is also another, I think, a little bit of an overrated hero, but still certainly good, and we'll see.
Yeah, I think for QPAD they could still go for 2 dual lanes, pick something up together with the Venomancer on the bottom lane, put Marana Bane off lane. It really also depends on what they are expecting on the top lane, because going up against a support Alchemist and a Visage already might just be too aggressive to go aggressive against, because the killing potential of Power Rangers is definitely going to be there too, and if you have an aggressive tri lane and you're not sure if you can make it work for you, then you probably are better off not trying it. But it seems like this Alchemist will actually be a farming Alchemist, and that is going to be... well, it's going to be a safe lane, and I think actually putting an aggressive tri-lane up against that might be enough to slow him down, make sure he doesn't get his farm up, and put something in your own safe lane that can farm up, that can do well also against that Alchemist, and comes online early enough to be able to take over the game before Alchemist has actually really a chance to get into the game.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you got two supports on both sides, and you have killing potential. You have kind of your lanes figured out. If you want to do tri-lanes, I'm not really sure if they would go aggressive here on QPAD side. They do have the potential, and they could win that lane theoretically. Depends on if they hit the arrows, and really Nightmare is going to be the biggest key, I think, for both teams. The Death Prophet does come out from QPAD, and this is another hero that's, I think, vastly overrated. Can get really, really wrecked in lane, in the mid lane especially, because Crypt Swarm is really the only thing you can do to get last hits.
Yeah.
You've got no real stuns. You can silence if necessary, but usually you don't get that early on. So Death Prophet is good. Even level 6's Exorcism is nice, but, you know, generally you want to get level 2 ult before you start fighting with it. So I think that if Power Rangers gets a good mid matchup against Death Prophet, they'll be very okay with that pickup. But that's a big question. What are they going to go up against with the Death Prophet? I'm not sure myself.
Well, I think luckily for QPAD, Power Rangers themselves already banned out the puck. And then Queen of Pain Storm removed as well. I think those are 3 of the stronger ones up against her in terms of aggression. But yeah, I mean... well, I don't think it's going to be an Elder Titan. I think it's going to be an Elder Titan offlane, actually. But that mid lane, that last one that will be picked up, with the Death Prophet picked up this early, I mean, she's picked up 4th, I realize that, but I feel like she could have just been picked up 5th. Because there's no real rush to picking her up. She could actually be on a solo safe lane still, if they want to be surprised. I mean, the last pick is going to go to Power Rangers, so they don't, like, Cupid doesn't have the element of surprise in that case. But perhaps they do make Power Rangers, like, take them by surprise with the last pick if they pick up something like an OD still in the mid, because OD is still in, and if Power Rangers pick up OD up against a Death Prophet is gonna die.
You're absolutely right. So that is true. They do have that potential to send her in the safe lane. Depends on how, you know, depends on, you're exactly right, depends on what Power Rangers picks up 5th here, so they do have that. And it also depends on what QPAD picks up here, because they could pick something that doesn't work well in the mid lane as well. And theoretically, Death Prophet or Elder Titan, they can go in different lanes. Elder Titan, like you mentioned, can go off lane. He can also go mid as well, which would be something important to know. He wouldn't do too bad. They'll pick up a Bristleback, though, and that's an interesting pickup coming up from QPAD. We see that a lot recently, and it's a very good hero for a good reason.
Yeah, very, I'll walk straight at you and kill you kind of hero. I like that. I have seen it earlier today up in a safe lane, though, where the aggressive tri lane was consisting of 3 other heroes, and perhaps that's something that QPAD can do here as well, because that team, I believe, did... no, they did not win with it. Never mind. But normally I prefer Bristleback in a solo or in a tri lane, aggressive tri lane. But if you have a Mirana in the same team, I just don't like Mirana as the hardcore carry. So in this case, I'm hoping Bristleback solo safe, Death Prophet mid, aggressive tri lane with Bane, Mirana, and Venno, and then, you know, work from there. Though Elder Titan up against Bristleback, it's gonna be also a very, very scary Elder Titan. I don't think Bristleback can really harass him away from the lane all too far.
Yeah, this is a very strange situation for QPAD, because like you said, they could do that aggressive tri lane coming out with a Mirana Bane Venomancer, but they could also try to get Bristleback a little bit more of a safe farm and put him up with like a Venomancer, and then just have Mirana Bane dual lane. It depends on how much they want to shut down this Alchemist and how much they want to give Mirana the farm. Bristleback, I don't think, is the one that's going to be getting the farm this game. He's not going to be played in the 1 position. He should be played as... and for good reason. We saw last time, I think I was here, we saw Bristleback played as a 1 position hero, and they lost late game because he can't really do anything. He's very tanky, but late game, he's not really doing the most work in the world when it comes to getting kills. So, I think getting Mirana farm and also stopping the Alchemist is going to be the most important thing.
Whoa.
So the tri lane is probably going to happen aggressive. And they'll go with the last pick Doom here as well, which is very interesting. Which means that I think Elder Titan should be mid. Alchemist. I'm not sure about this, though.
ZXC picks up the Alchemist. He is the solo mid player of Power Rangers, so I'm thinking ZXC then solo mid, but he will be going up against an Death Prophet. Alchemist Death Prophet. I think that's good for QPAD.
It is, because you have to go into melee range to get last hits, and then you just Crypt Swarm and you die. Yeah. The real key is getting unstables and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't really think, you know, Death Prophet up against an Alchemist, I think Death Prophet should do really well there. Still, there is killing potential coming out from the Alchemist, so it depends on, can you hit the Crypt Swarms, and if not, you know, are you getting last hits, are you farming effectively? So we'll see what happens when the game does start, as we will jump into the game.
Yep. Let's take a look who's playing what. On the side of QPAD, we have got finally someone with a good mount. Although she's got stupid hair, but it is Mirana, played by Werner. Stand-in for QPAD at the moment, going to the off lane by the looks of it. Looks also to be going solo off lane. In the mid lane, of course, as expected, Wagamama playing the Death Prophet there. On the bottom, it will be a safe trial lane with I Like Blue Banana playing the Bristleback. Darum again playing the Bane this time. Stompa standing in playing the Venomancer, and that's everybody of QPAD here on the Radiant side. With a bit of different laning than we were expecting it to be.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But on the side of Power Rangers here, we've got J4. He'll be on the Rubik down in the bottom lane currently. You look at, of course, FGod is going to be on the VIII here as well. Also in the bottom lane, looks like Cheshire Cat is going to be the Elder Titan. Mid lane, we'll see ZXC on that solo mid Alchemist, and to round it out, top lane in the jungle currently is going to be Moon on the Doom. I got it. I didn't miss the introductions here.
Yep, nice. Awesome. And they're gonna put Moon solo lane. I think that's gonna be great for the Doom mostly. Mirana will have a tough time last hitting up against the Doom because 62 base damage, which is now, by the way, double times 62, because that's kind of scary. The double damage rune, but 62 versus 48. Werner is not going to be able to harass Doom enough because Doom, of course, has got that Scorched Earth. He's got some regen. Werner's going to have a tough lane in terms of getting farm, but he should at least be able to get levels. Power Rangers, by the way, wow. They are going to go right in this game with aggression. They're going to rotate mid with a smoke up with FNG and J4. They want to shut down this Death Prophet straight away. Unstable Concoction already being charged up. Telekinesis coming out. Wagamama in a lot of trouble and will end up falling. First Blood goes the way of ZXC. Well, that's going to put the mark on the game for sure.
Yeah, and that's something I wanted to talk about in terms of this matchup. That was really the key, is rotations. And, you know, they do it right. You know, they smoke up before the game even starts. ZXC throws up his Unstable. He gets the first blood. That means his bottle's going to come out. And now he can just spam Acid Spray and even throw up Unstables if he wants to very effectively. Also, they're roaming around again. Looking at FGod, he might look for the 3-minute courier, or he might just look to harass Wagamama back. They're going to go for a kill again.
Yeah, slowing him down. The stun comes out. A bit less duration than previous time, though, and with no Rubik around there. No telekinesis to back that up. So they won't be able to kill her off this time, but they will be able to harass quite a bit. We'll see how long they can keep that that aggression going. Rubik, by the way, he's rotated top, so he is pulling and stacking the wave right now, helping out the Doom a bit, and making sure that Mirana is getting less experience than she otherwise would have gotten.
Yeah, and with that gank mid, or the gank attempt mid, it was because they had the creep wave there, and the reason that was such a slow, or excuse me, charged unstable was because that creep wave was dying. They didn't want to have ZXC go down to the tower, so they did the smart thing, try to kill her, realize they couldn't, back off, make sure the creep, stays alive, and they get back, of course, to their own side of the river. Down bottom, Cheshire Cat should be okay, but we'll see.
Okay, we're gonna see if ZXC is okay. Oh, ZXC ends up stunning himself. Great Nightmare coming in, but there's way more support coming in, and the kill goes the way of the Alchemist nonetheless. He might die himself, though. Denied by the VIII because of the Gale, and Venomancer himself dies. That is a 2-for-0 exchange, and I'd say Power Rangers, they've really set the pace for this game, for sure.
Yeah, and they pretty much just won Elder Titan in the bottom lane with that, and he's got like 800 gold. Pretty much he'll buy a Soul Ring very soon. He'll be able to stay alive, and with that also he's got very close to level 4. So they just not only want him that, ZXC got denied, which means that they get more, they don't really lose anything for all of that. Top lane, like you said, Verna's not having a really good time. He's going to get experience, which is okay, but the last hits are going to be going the way of the Doom. Plus there's a support, Rubik here. So everything is really going Power Rangers' way. There's nothing going wrong here, and it's only probably going to mount. They will have to deal with, the tankiness of the Bristleback and the Exorcism, which is going to be annoying, but for now, everything is really going Power Rangers' way.
Yeah. And one thing that QPAD is going to have to hope for is that the supports of Power Rangers are going to rotate so much that they're going to be behind on levels at some point. They are going to see if they can kill off Werner though, but he still has a leap, so he should be fine. One level death might actually do the job. He is actually going to be dead. He still had his leap. Was hoping maybe to leap into the trees. In comes a Gale Stompa though. Finds himself surrounded by 3 enemy heroes and will end up getting picked off. That is another double kill. This time going the way of Moon. I mean, why didn't he leap?
Yeah, I think he was waiting for a TP rotation. They were going to try to turn it, but or just maybe misplay. I have no idea really. That was just, it's not going well for them. That's all you need to know is QPAD is. They are having the roughest of games right now, and the double kill for Moon is huge. The fact that they're getting farm for him, you know, they also rotated some supports, which means Cheshire Cat down bottom is getting levels and farm just fine. So this game suddenly is starting to spiral out of control for QPAD, and they need to get something going for him.
Yeah, I mean, we're only 4 minutes in, but we're already 2.5k gold in favor of Power Rangers, and this is very scary. If you have a Bristleback and a Death Prophet, if they have a bad start, they're not going to be having an easy time getting back into it. And normally, they require a bit of a mid-game hero to then get back to buy time for them to still get their core items up. But by the looks of things, I mean, if they're both shut down, it's going to come down to Mirana to do that, and Mirana is also shut down. So good luck with that.
Yeah, that's not good. I don't like the decision of making the Bristleback your lead farmer. I understand that, you know, he's going to be the one helping you in the mid game with all the fights, but still Mirana's going to be the one doing most of the damage, the majority of it at least. So, good luck.
Yeah. Blue Banana tanking up the quick wave, making sure that the tower doesn't intervene, so he can have all the last hits without being worried about towers taking some. Cheshire Cat, I mean, he is not leveling very fast. He's still level 4, but of course, as we already mentioned, he is involved in some kills already. In the meantime, looks like we're having a Doom up on Werner, and he will not be making it out. He's level 4, Moon is level 6, and he'll be close to level 7 by the time that he kills this one. Yep. Ownage being called, 6-1, with the 1 kill being the deny. In the meantime, Death Prophet forced out of the middle lane, while Venomancer still goes down. FNG is not going to go down from this, it's very low, but we'll live to see another day as we have a hand of Midas up on the Doom to make him get further ahead. I mean, if we look at the net worth, he is already the furthest ahead in this game in terms of net worth, of course, because of his Devour. Some solid amount of farm coming from that point, but I'm going to ask the same question as I did in the previous game, just a different team. Like, you're the captain of QPAD. What do you tell your team? What's going to happen? What's your plan?
Just sit in lane, you just farm, call for TP supports.
Kill Cheshire Cat?
They get kills. Yeah, kill Cheshire Cat, exactly. Maybe even smoke up eventually because you're going to have a Bristleback. You got to put your, you got to let him carry you for now. The problem is, though, there are Midases coming out, and Doom just got his at 530. That's an insanely fast Midas, and even ZXC can go for one. He's got 1800 gold in the bank. I'm not sure if he will. But yeah, no, they need to get more of those pickoffs. They need to start kind of playing around the Bristleback here, I think, and making him your main focus. Now that he's got a Ring of Health, he'll probably go for like a 10-minute Vanguard, and that'll be excellent. So once they get that, maybe start fighting around him. But easier said than done, I guess.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think with the kill that Bristleback had, I mean, that's a good start. He is going to be the one to bring this back. I was looking at the net worth. He's the only one that's keeping up with Power Rangers right now. And if he can get a good fight going, if the fight takes long enough, he can win a fight for his team. And if his team is around there, they will get the experience and they might be able to have a chance to get back onto it. But there's a lot of pressure on his back right now. Pun intended, since he is a Bristleback.
Oh my god.
It wasn't that good of a pun. It was a really bad one. I'm sorry.
You have better puns than I do. God. Alright, well.
That says something.
Anyways. Yeah. Anyways, top lane. What they need to do, I think, is Werner. They picked the Nightmare into Arrow combo, and they haven't used it yet. Their whole point of that combo is because it's so effective in the early game to grab kills. It's so hard to deal with. They haven't touched it. They haven't used it at all.
Oh, they're going to use it right now.
To get in action.
They saw FNG rotate, so they can't start this off. Nightmare will be there. We're already getting a range for an arrow. We'll be able to hit it. Starstorm coming out, level 2, so it should be enough to kill him off with the second star falling. Indeed, that's a nice pickup. A good rotation. A lot of rotation, though. I mean, yeah. Oh, but they also get the Elder Titan. Bristleback does go down for it, but getting the Elder Titan is still slowing him down is going to be a good thing still, too. At least it's an exchange rather than just, just a kill. Just a death.
Yeah, the thing is though that the Bristleback was level 8, the Elder Titan was level 5 or something around those lines, and that's gonna just be free experience for J4 that he really didn't need to give up.
Wow.
But yeah, you're right. They got a kill there. They got a kill for the Mirana. That's excellent. That's what they need to keep doing.
Yeah, we just saw FNG just completely painting the two cams near the middle lane, the creep cams, painting them pink. Not quite sure what he was complaining about, but probably the fact that he actually died. Talking about flames.
Yeah, I think he was like the Alchemist. I think what happened was the Alchemist had just tried to dive the Death Prophet, and the Death Prophet got away just fine, so down bottom it looks like there's action.
Yeah, well, that's already the action gone. Nightmare still put up on the Bristleback. At least he put it up on himself, I would say, because Bane was the one, of course, who used it. Or no, that's a Nightmare coming up from J4. He's already level 7. Holy cow. Alchemist coming in. His stun already down to 2 seconds. Just needs a vision. Gets the vision as well. In comes the Exorcism. This might be the fight that QPAD needs, but Power Rangers is careful enough to not run in head first. And they back themselves off, meaning that the first Exorcism of the game kind of gets partly wasted. Perhaps they can get themselves a tower off the back of his, as J4 dodges an arrow by just walking in a straight line. He is still taking a lot of damage from that Exorcism though, but it looks like he'll be able to make it out alive.
Yeah, Waga's doing the smart thing. They want to use this Exorcism, even if they have to dive a little bit for some damage there. But what was a little bit of a problem was that they needed to wait for that Moonlight Shadow to actually go into real effect. Even though there is the Sentry Ward here on the Dire team, they weren't in vision of it, and they ran right out from the side, which made the other team, Power Rangers, get pushed back. They didn't want to fight into it. Had they gone in, had they waited for the Moonlight and, you know, popped everything beforehand and then ran in, maybe they were going to be able to take that fight, but it looks like they just were a little too quick there. And unfortunately, weren't able to get anything out of it. Still, though, you know, they're starting to come into their own, but I think they're trying to 5-man a little bit. Well, not 5-man necessarily. They're just trying to play as a team a little bit more. Cheshire Cat might die. Ooh, that was close, but not quite there for, of course, the Bristleback to grab the kill.
Yeah, he's already killed him off twice. So, yeah, I mean, I like what QPAD was doing. I mean, that is definitely the way to go, especially if you have a Bristleback that is actually doing okay-ish compared to the rest of the team, and that could be the way for them to get back into the game. If Power Rangers, for example, would have overextended there, I think QPAD would have taken the fight and would have been completely back in this game. Power Rangers being very careful though, and that's of course good on them, but QPAD has to hope that they can at some point bait out some kind of mistake from Power Rangers and therefore get back because of that, as we do have Power Rangers just trying to take down a tier 1 mid. They will be met with 3 heroes here, though, including an invisible Death Prophet that does have Exorcism up again. But the Nightmare, or the Nightmare hits, but the Gale misses. Arrow, kind of surprising that it misses as well, considering there was a Nightmare target right there. But that is going to be Power Rangers not getting ganked upon right now. Or unless they might want to try. They ping, they smoke up, we see the drawing on the minimap. They're going to try to come in from the side.
This is a smart play, but they're going to run into 4, maybe even 5 heroes here. They've got to be careful.
Yeah. They're going to be outnumbered for sure. Alchemist is still pretty strong, but he has also got a Hand of Midas, so that doesn't really help them all that much. They find themselves a Bane first, though, and that's going to be 1 down. Couple to go, but we already have got the Bristleback backing off. Smart choice for him. Looks like they might have to settle with just some jungle creeps. Perhaps a tier 1 tower bottom, but they rotate middle instead. Supports anyways.
See, the thing I was saying was they might run into like 4 heroes, but then they all decided to split up on QPAD because they're like, oh, they're probably mid. They're not going to do anything. They weren't expecting that smoke, and thus they split up and died for it. So sadly for them. The important thing to note is there's an 11-minute Vanguard on the Bristleback, which will make him tankier, but still, he's not had the best game in the world. His team hasn't had the best game either, and I don't think they didn't go for another bit of a gank because Alchemist didn't really have any mana to do anything. They didn't go bottom as well because of that specific reason, but they're going to take the tier 1 mid as they're all going down bottom looking for a gank here.
Yeah, that's a second tier 1 dead. Maybe QPAD can take a tier 1 bottom in return for it, but we already have some TPs coming in. J4 with the Fade Bolt trying to force them back. The Exorcism is still there though, and it should be enough. Tower does not get denied by FNG, and actually they might want to go in. Moonlight Shadow, never mind. Hello Moon. Bye Wagamama. That's gonna be level death to finish him off. The rest doomed up. You're dead too, Stompa. Or Nightmare. No denying coming though. Doom will take it. And they will still know where the... Yeah, Bane is visible again. Are they gonna dive the tower for him? I think they could have. Yeah, they are. Good luck teleporting out. The vision is there, but yeah.
Yep, they have the Astral. So easy. So they take, what was that? 3 kills, I believe?
Yep, they take 3 kills. And a tower by the looks of it. That's the last outer tower standing for QPAD.
Yeah, that was a good silence coming out from Waga, but they just couldn't back off quickly enough. The Unstable Out came out already, and that was important. The Doom didn't really matter. They got it a little bit later. And Shadowblade's already done for the Doom now, which means that solo kills are available and ready to go. His damage is there. The tier 1s are all gone, and it's getting worse and worse and worse for QPAD. They're not getting the farm they need. They only have the Vanguard up on their main, farmer, whereas everyone else is doing really well on Power Rangers side, so...
Yeah, and with the Hand of Midas still, I mean, they're not even in any rush to end this game. That's the scary thing. They're, like, they don't need to try. They are trying, though, nonetheless. And they're even gonna get Roshan. They've got themselves a medallion. But with the Hand of Midas is up, I mean... Right now, they're kind of either forcing QPAD to also do the same, or for them to end it within 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Because otherwise, I mean, they're already ahead. They're going to be even further ahead later on. They are already 12k gold ahead. Holy cow. That is insane.
Yeah, that is significant at 13 minutes. I've rarely seen leads like that, and it just goes to show how well Power Rangers have been playing, and really how poorly QPAD has been playing. Another important thing to note is that they don't have any Midases on QPAD's side. It's 14 minutes in, nobody's really farming it looks like. And that is an issue, because it is 6.79, and Midases are going to help you win the game, like you said. It's only going to help you increase your lead. There's already, the 2 people that have Midases already have Shadow Blades. You look at, there's 3 people that still have Brown Boots on the Radiant team. There's nothing going for them now. They don't even have a mech for their main hero, which, I guess it is still early, so that's fine. But now there's an Aegis up on Power Rangers side. They've taken all the Tier 1 towers left. There's really... not a whole lot QPAD can do. Even a Bristleback, he's not going to be tanky enough to really deal with this. There's too much of a lead coming out for Power Rangers now.
Yeah, and Power Rangers just taking over the Radiant Jungle, so the farming space of QPAD is greatly diminished. And they do have still a ward up near the Roche Pit, but that's not going to help them for now, only to know where Power Rangers is farming. And I mean, they're making no secrets about where they actually are. And just pushing out the lanes. Just all 3 lanes have got one of Power Rangers in there. The jungle of QPAD is farmed out, and, I mean, perhaps they can take that moon. Perhaps they can. Name the only 3 heroes to be banned out 20 or more times so far during StarLadder, Season 8.
Can I answer this, or should I just let it go for chat?
Well, you can think about it. Like, 20 heroes that have only StarLadder. Elder Titan?
I think he should be one of them.
It's only 3 heroes. Oh, Blue Banana doomed up. Earth Splitter gets the kill. Alchemist takes care of Marana top lane in the meantime. That was a solo kill from the Alchemist. Shadowblade being put into play for that. Nice nightmare, but that's not going to help.
Yeah, and it's exactly what Shadowblade's used for, solo kill, solo initiation, and he did get it on the Marana, which is actually kind of hard to kill when you think about it, because you have lead. That's what you have in order to get out alive. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to happen there. It looks like just the damage is too much coming out from the Alchemist already, and that's a bad sign, is if your Marana's getting solo killed. And also, you look at the level differences. Marana's level 8, Alchemist is level 13. A lot of that does come from Midas, but also because they've been playing more effectively, so it's not good.
Yeah, and level 8 is actually the second highest levels up on QPAD. 4 heroes are below, are level 8 or lower on the side of QPAD, while there's 4 heroes higher than level 9 or level 9 on Power Rangers. That's a big difference. I mean, Visage is still level 8. Visage has a recipe for Hand of Midas in his inventory. Okay. They take down Alchemist though. They're able to take him on the top lane. Alchemist slightly overextending by the looks of it, and actually died in his fountain, but died nonetheless.
Yeah, I think he was trying to TP out, and he just didn't get out in time. But they're actually going to try to kill Stampa here. He doesn't want to have to use his Doom. He doesn't actually have it. And that's like he 4-hit him, so...
Yep.
Wow.
3-shot. There you go. Goes for the Assault Cuirass next, forcing everybody else to TP out away from that top lane. And he even uses the Moonlight Shadow was even used to try and save his life, but I guess it was just too late. Too little, too late.
Exactly. And against Moon, it's just he's got too much damage. He does have the Alpha Wolf, so his crit strike is there. The Pack Leader's Aura as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what are you going for? Sanj on a Bristleback? You go for an SNY? Yeah, that's a good item, but I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Because you're already behind. SNY is an item that kind of helps you snowball, I feel like, not, come from behind. It's not a come from behind item.
Maybe he wants to have a Heaven's Halberd. That would actually help. Have a bit of an evasion. Be able to disarm Alchemist or Doom. I think there might be... Way to go. Oh, hello, Doom. Welcome to the party. He is actually welcomed by a Poison Nova and a Gale, and is actually forced out, so that means that Wagamama will not die from that Doom. Good job, Venom.
Yeah, that Doom... I'm not sure about that Doom. I think they thought that Wagamama was solo. Doom's good if you're trying to fight and you want to take down a tower and you don't have to deal with Exorcism, but that was pointless. I guess it's fine, but...
I'm still thinking about the question. I think Elder Titan might not even be the one to get banned out so often. I think maybe Lich is better banned out often.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Or at least
which is weird.
Venno maybe even.
I don't know about Venno. I think Lich you're definitely correct about, but I'm not sure about Venomancer.
I've seen him there's only 3. So maybe they're all 3.
Yeah,
Venno,
maybe.
Lich, and Elder Titan.
But
we don't only have to talk about like the number 1 bans, but also people that are banned in the second banning phase that are normally banned out second.
True. Good point. Maybe CM.
Yeah. But she gets picked up a lot as well though. Ooh, with the Doom on cooldown, they still want to try and take this fight. The stun still hits upon Stompa. Wow, 2 hits, and Moon takes her down. That's also going to be a Fiend script for that. Oh, is it no Fiend script? Bane, you can Fiend script. You can do it. Never mind, he cannot. He is stunned up. And he is now dead as well. That's going to be 3 dead already on the side of QPAD, and the rest is trying to run themselves back to base. The exorcism is run out. And the spirits are going to go back to Waga. The tower is still there, though, the tier 2. As the Blue Banana gets picked up, stun is being charged up by the Alchemist already, and I don't think he's going to make it out alive from this one. Or perhaps he can take down Moon. He takes at least the Aegis away from him. Does go down with it, though. As the Visage goes down still in the end to... What did he die to anyways? Tower? Probably.
He died to tower. He was very low coming out from all the cool sprays.
Ooh, there's your Fiend script. Look at ZXZ. Rainbow of teleports. Can they take him down? The Shadowblade's on cooldown. Nightmare will hold him in place for the arrow that this time actually hits in the Starstorm to be the last one to come out to take him down. That was a good kill. Teleport out from the Rubik will be successful as a Moon and Cheshire Cat will not be able to take the tower. Perhaps they're going to be greedy enough to stick around. Okay, apparently that's the case. Dusk gets popped up. They do see Moon, but he is fast enough to get himself away. Perhaps Venom can keep those wards up and slow him down continuously, but the Scorched Earth will be up again in 17 seconds.
He's not using his phase boots. I'm not sure why.
Now he does.
Now he is.
To pop, he didn't want to pop the Shadowblade. And he is actually hiding behind that one
20%
tree.
faster. That's true. I mean, I think like the phase boots would have been better. I mean, if he had gotten initiated, it wouldn't have been. He's fine either way. You know, Moon's out of there, and that was a little bit of a greedy play going for Power Rangers. The Quill Spray does do a lot of work still. So Bristleback is, you know, he's doing okay right now, but still, I mean, like that's. You saw how much damage he did there. Imagine if he had a little bit of, you know, a little bit more levels and his team was doing okay around him. They would have been just fine in that fight. But no, they're too far behind now, I think. And Doom is godlike, and she's going to work bottom.
Yeah, I just picked up the Death Prophet this time. She couldn't get away with the Doom on her. But I mean, yeah, you're right. That Bristleback, the potential is there. If the fight lasts longer, if he's able to stay alive longer, then there's definitely good potential for them to pick them up. In the meantime, they're trying to go for him. The Earth Splitter already missed, and it looks like he should be able to get away from this one. I mean, there's no more slows coming out, so all they can do is just run at it and hope that there's going to be crits. And that's not going to happen, or at least would take too long. Elder Titan, OD, and Pugna. Elder Titan, you were right.
Yeah. The Elder Titan I see like every game. That's not surprising. The OD... I was questioning it. Pugna is something I should have remembered. That gets banned all the time, but Elder Titan makes sense to me. That hero's banned in like every single league ever. Because he's really good, as you can see in this game. He's been doing very effectively.
Yes, and I mean he did not have the easiest time. I mean, he's died twice. He didn't really get that many last hits on his lane. Of course, did help with the kill. In the meantime, Alchemist gets picked up on the top lane again with the Fiend script. But Elder Titan definitely. I mean, you don't need to have the best of starts to be able to have a big effect on your team. Just level 4 of the Natural Order is enough to be having a big effect on, on the game.
You really also need to understand that too, that he was in an offlane against a tri-lane for the majority of the game.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's only got 2 deaths to his name is an indication of how well his team has done. Not just him, but his team. And, you know, he's got a Sanj right now. He probably is going to go for Heaven's Halberd this game. Looking at Bristleback, he hasn't built anything yet. He does have 1,000 gold. So we'll see if he wants to go for an SMY himself, or if he wants to go for that halberd like you were talking about. I'm going to put my money on SMY, but we'll see.
Well, time will tell. First of all, we're going to see Tower Fall, or at least that's the intent for QPAD. We'll see if Power Rangers tries to do anything against it. They do have the Doom up again, and they will be going for it. They will be going for the Bristleback first, or at least he is the one doomed up. He'll be forced back first. Werner still has his leap, doesn't pop his Moonlight Shadow, surprisingly, as Wagamama is able to stay alive, barely. Earth Splitter coming in, but doesn't really hit on anybody. Nobody actually died just yet, not even the doomed target. Alchemist coming in with a stun, will not be able to throw it out, everybody being invisible. Great escape from QPAD. That might not have been able to take the tower, but they live, which is something that I really was not expecting with everybody of Power Rangers just running at them.
Yeah, I think Bristleback was about like 1 tick from death, and then he got mech'd, which saved his life, luckily enough, so it's crazy. And speaking of SNY, it's done for the Alchemist. Now he moves very quickly, does a bit of damage as well. Roshan is back alive, so they'll go for that. They haven't been... They were rolling a couple minutes ago, but they've sort of stagnated a little bit, which is interesting. They still have a lot of a lead here. You look at the graphs, it's like 20,000 gold at 23 minutes.
That is kind of scary. I mean, if you look at that, I mean, it's almost 23k. It's still almost 1k gold a minute ahead. That's just sick. 20k
yeah, it's really disgusting.
Roshan now as well with an Aegis up on the Doom, not like he was gonna die. He hasn't died yet once. I wasn't like, why not put it up in the Alchemist? Elder Titan, what are you doing there? By yourself? Surrounded by enemies? They might be able to take a tier 1 tower here. I mean, I keep saying that, and they haven't, like, they've only taken one. But I do appreciate the effort that they try to take towers. They have an Exorcism as well again in a second, so let's see if Power Rangers defense or not. Now they don't have a Doom. They do have the teleports, though, to come out if they need to. Actually, Doom himself doesn't have a teleport. He dropped that for the Aegis. And Visit doesn't have a teleport either, so they're just gonna try to counter push.
This is a bad play coming out from QPandas because now they have no Exorcism when they try to go for a tier 3 tower against an Aegis. Yes, there's no Elder Titan, but still, this is...
I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Have his halberd for the Bane, for the Bristleback.
You got me.
Yep. Well, nice arrow. I like Rubik having arrows. It's one of the better spells to steal.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
but this is what I was talking about.
Yeah, Moon with an Aegis. He just bashes on the tower, sitting on 19 health. Will get denied, but down nonetheless. I mean, yeah, good luck with that. That's... I mean, next time the push happens, that he can just stand there, with an Aegis perhaps even still, and then take down your range Rex rather than your tower. I mean, why not? What's gonna stop him?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, I mean, they can do that. The question is, are they going to go for another push by the time Exorcism's back up? And then probably not. They have to push our top lane, which is what Cheshire Cat is doing. So, they're just going to keep farming until they're, you know, comfortable with whatever they've got. I don't know really what else they need. I mean, they've got an AC on Doom. They've got a Shadow Blade. So he really doesn't need a whole lot else because he has that armor, which, because you're a strength hero, you don't inherently get, but you get a lot of HP. He can even go for an HP item if he wants to, but maybe they're waiting for the Alchemist to be a little bit more farmed. He's going to be going for, it looks like, a Basher, I'd imagine. So, well, with the casual vitality booster.
Smoke up. They have got the Fiend Script looking for Cheshire Cat, who's trying to TP out, but nope! Fiend Script, you're dead! Arrow flies, and that's going to be Death Prophet with the last hit. A lot of pings coming out. I think that Cheshire Cat's very unhappy with his death right now.
That's like... That's what you see in like the NEL or the EL. It's just like when someone's upset that you haven't like helped him out when he dies, he like they're just consistent pain. He's like, please, somebody,
the drawing on the minimap, like there, they were there. Go get them. Why did you not warn me? We've got a hard up for the Doom, by the way. I mean, he got the Aegis. I still don't think it was really needed for him to get the Aegis because he's 903 with almost 18k net worth to his name, which is 10k higher than the highest up on QPAD almost. I say almost, but that's not quite true. 9k higher. But it's scary right now. This is a Doom that is just gonna wreck. Like, he's a one-man army. He's gonna wreck QPAD Pandas if he just walks up to him. He's lucky with his crits, which actually right now, he picked himself up the Purge.
The Purge is actually really good,
yeah.
By the way. That thing's ridiculous for, you know, because you don't think about it too much, but it's a really good initiation tool. You know he's really rich when you pick up, like I said, an HP item on a strength hero, and that's a Heart of Trask at 26 minutes. His GPM is above 700, 720 right now, and it's still rising because he has that Midas. So, whenever they want to fight, they really can. I think they're going to wait for the Basher to be done up on the Alchemist. I think it's flying out now. Maybe even wait for the A-Blade, and then they go for a fight, but still, they can fight whenever, really.
Well, it is first QPAD that wants to fight. Oh god, Cheshire Cat. He's going to be unhappy once again. They don't have a Nightmare this time, but they will have enough damage to take him down. The silence comes out, so no stomp for him, and Bristleback this time with the last hit. And where are the pings?
Or Elder Titan. Yeah, seriously, he should be pinging like crazy. He's like, team, they're all mid. What are you doing? Yeah. But they're okay because Doom is going for a tier 3 tower now, and they'll try to trade tier 3 for tier 2, or at least force TPs, and they will force the TPs back. So Moon is like, all right, that's fine. Yep. You know, I forced TPs, and the Exorcism is kind of wasted as well. So cool.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty decent trade. Actually, ZXC is right now running at Blue Banana. I think he gets... No, never mind. It was daylight. I think perhaps he could have taken down the...
Just out of range.
There's a Purge working out for them, and they can't seriously slow him down. In comes an arrow up in the Fiend's Grip, though. Moon, so tanky, still has an Aegis for a while, though, and actually, Fiend's Grip interrupted by the stun. Well, it was a nice gesture.
But still, that was like full Fiend's Grip, and he's just like, yeah, I'm still at half health, so good luck killing me.
The Aegis is about to disappear. That's going to be at least a lucky thing for QPAD. So the next fight, he won't have an Aegis anymore, but he will still be very unkillable in terms of the amount of health he has and the amount of tankability he has.
Also, Purge is a 5-second cooldown. That's kind of ridiculous. I didn't know it was that low of a cooldown.
He can just constantly slow a target down. Alchemist, once again, gonna end up stunning himself. Oh, that's fun. Well, all the outer towers are down. For Power Rangers, it comes down to how are they gonna go high ground. Are they gonna just run up the hill without an Aegis this time? Run up the hill and see how far they get?
I think Stomp and Doom are really what they need to hit. Obviously, Doom's easy to hit. They need a Doom Waga, and then they need to get a Stomp. And then if they get that, they probably just kill everyone with, you know, Earth Splitter, right clicks from Moon, or they just run up. So I guess I'm wrong.
30 seconds for the Aegis, though. Well, that's Range Rex already dead. The Stomp's still coming out. Earth Splitter comes out as well, though, and it will actually hit upon two. Both Bane and Venom, with one already dead. Venom making it out alive. Back to base with him. Bristleback gets picked up as well. Alchemist in the meantime, charging up a stun, looking for a target. Will be able to find it if he just turns around. No, he'll choose to end up stunning himself. In comes Bristleback again. He popped back. They don't want to be there anymore. The stump comes out, but doesn't hit up on a Bristle. ZXC making the right turn, making sure that he cannot be hit by those quills anymore. And it looks like Power Rangers make themselves scars. They should be able to make it out alive. They did get those range racks, but not the melee racks. That buyback did pay off. Perhaps even they can get themselves a kill on the back of it. ZXC, you better run, dude. Your support died. And the rest is going to chase you down if you're not careful. Oh,
well, he's got Chemical Rage. He's just going to regen up. He's fine. They're not chasing him, though. The real problem with that fight for Power Rangers, they could have gotten a lot more than just the range Rex had they had enough mana to Doom Wagamama. They didn't have enough mana for the Doom up. It was available and ready, so if that Doom had gone, they fight in, they probably kill Waga, because he's also the mech controller as well, which means they die even quicker. They did force Bristleback to buy back, wait, no, I said that right. That confused me for some reason, but they forced him to buy back, which is nice. Still, though, you know, they could have gotten a lot more. I keep talking about it, and they really should have, but they still have quite a bit of a lead here, and it's still going to be monstrous comeback for, you know, QPADs to get back into this one.
Yeah, it's still sitting on 1k gold extra for Power Rangers per minute, as now the Doom comes up on Waga. The telekinesis there as well from J4, blinking forward, and that is a crit because he got rid of the Purge. Well, Moon is just a monster right now, as Blue Banana is going to get stunned up by the Alchemist very shortly, unless there's a Moonlight Shadow, but that's actually still on cooldown. Sentiment gets put down still by the Radiant side, as ZXC actually Fiend's Grip, arrowed, taking a bit of a beating here. He will end up going down. Perhaps they can get themselves Moon as well. Looking for him, with the Marana there as well, but the Earth Splitter comes in. Doesn't hit anybody. They come back though, it's Bane that dies, Marana dies, Blue Banana dies. Yeah, that happened. Now there's only the Venomancer left alive. Start placing the wards. Never mind, GG is called. It is Power Rangers that take this game in 31 minutes. Which, by the way, I mean, I really thought they might have been able to get this earlier with the lineup that they had and with well, just with the streak of kills that they were having. But QPAD Panda, they fought valiantly. They just couldn't get it together. Would you say outpicked or outplayed?
I'd say a little bit of both, honestly. I think it wasn't outpicked. I just think that they, like I said earlier, when you saw a couple of the kills coming their way, it was because they had the Bane and Marana combo going in effect. There was actually only one kill that they really did that worked very effectively, and I don't know why they didn't put those two heroes together. That's kind of the whole point of the combo. Yeah. Still, though, Death Prophet could have done a little bit better. The Doom pickup was very nice up against her, specifically. Also, they just got really outplayed. They let Doom farm way too much. They let Alchemist farm way too much. And after a couple of kills happened early on in the game, Power Rangers was like, well, we're just going to snowball and have Midases and kill you. So, good game from Power Rangers.
Yeah, good game for Power Rangers for sure. We are going to jump ourselves to the 6th and last game of the night for StarLadder. And that would be Mouse Sports versus 4FC. So that will be an interesting matchup for sure. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Official starting time is in about 10 minutes, so we might have a bit of a break until then. But don't go anywhere because it's going to be a good game. Should be a good game. And there's nothing else that you can watch anyway, so stay.